Hello Libra, I'm Kay, and this is Lit Intuition Tarot. Today I'm going to be doing an ultimate love reading for you guys. While most people apply it to romantic connections, probably, it can also refer to friendships, family relationships, and even business partnerships. So while I'm doing my shuffling, just want to point out a few things. This is a new channel, so if the reading resonates with you, please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified of my uploads. Also, in the description box below, there is a tentative schedule that I'll be running here on YouTube. There's a list of the tarot decks I use. There's also just a few more shuffles here left to go. A link to my webpage where you could get a personal reading with me. And there are instructions on how to donate to the channel if you're so inclined. Also, on my webpage, I offer personalized avatar birth charts, which make it really easy to just kind of tell at a glance where all your important placements were when you were born. So I'm going to go ahead and do this ultimate love reading. I'm going to lay down the cards, and when they're all laid out, I will read the interpretation. Okay, is that a 5 or a 7? I'm using the Before Tarot for this. Not sure yet if that will have too much of an impact on the meanings of the general cards. It may in some circumstances. Okay. Just a few more to go here. I'll have to make adjustments on my table. And I will be doing different formats for you guys each week and different spreads, so it'll be something a little bit different every time. I have a weekly general reading out for you guys this week, I believe. And so I'll be doing those every week as well. And then every now and then I'll throw in something random just for fun. But all of that is listed on the schedule below. So this last card I'm going to leave face down so that none of us know what it is yet. That will be the final outcome for the next approximately 3 months is what I've asked for. Okay, Libra. Now, for the past, this connection was, I see some emotional pain attached. 5 of Cups is Scorpio energy, and it's about having regrets. So, this may be more of a long-term union where most relationships and connections, of course, don't start out with regret and sadness. So things that may have been going on for a long time with you guys, a relatively long time, and in the recent past, there was some sorrow and some regrets involved. Now looking at the present state of the connection, another 5, so a lot of change going on here. Numerologically, 5s are about change. So in the present, you and the other person in this connection are experiencing some turbulence. There's some drama, fights, maybe arguments, inner conflict, competition, jealousy, conflict. I think I already said that, but you get the drift. So y'all might be fighting around this time, or just have some differences that you're having a difficult time settling. Alright, so you are showing up in this connection as the Strength card, Leo energy. And, yeah, it's interesting. So in the regular depiction, the rider Waite, you see her with her hand in his mouth feeding him something. So in the Before Tarot here, the lion is still kind of approaching her, like he might want to eat her or her flower. So there's that little element of danger there. But so, you're trying to be strong and, stay in the connection, fight for the connection, be courageous about it and compassionate. But you may feel like, the other person is coming at you with something that I don't want to say threatening, because obviously if there's any abuse or involved, abuse, I don't know why I can't talk. If there's any abuse involved or anything of that nature, then, it's not something you obviously want to just hang tight with and, oh, we'll get past this, it'll get better. So I'm not talking to that type of dynamic. But you're just kind of hanging on for now and waiting to see what comes next. Your partner is showing up in the relationship as the Four of Swords, Libra energy. This person is tired, feeling a little bit worn out as far as the conflict and drama goes. And they're going within. They may seem more withdrawn than usual, maybe even taking a break, short separation from the connection, to go inside of themselves and meditate and heal, and just take some time for contemplation. So they might have kind of reached like sensory overload and need to kind of withdraw. For the positives of the connection, this is kind of throwing me for a little bit of a loop now, because we've got the Five of Pentacles, Taurus energy, which, as a positive, what's coming through for me intuitively, of course knowing the meaning of the card, but it's kind of like there's a hope that, despite all this, there's a place maybe inside of you or the other person that does feel alone and abandoned and, rejected or whatnot by this connection. But, the light's just starting to come in the church, or come on in the church, I should say. And so it's kind of like a hope that, the deep within, even if you have to be alone, even if things don't go the way that they should and you're feeling left out in the cold, or like this is, you're losing something, there's still that inner spot inside that's still alive, that still fights for survival and to get past the worst of times so that you can recover. For the fears, negatives in the connection, I'm almost considering restarting your guys' recording, Libra. My bad for all the when I'm misspeaking and such. I just woke up from a nap. So we've got the Page of Pentacles here for the negatives in the connection. One or the other of you might be slightly younger than the other one, or so there could be an immaturity issue. There could be that, there's maybe a lot of expectation from your side or from the other side that's not being met, because it's just a page with a small offer. The page is a student and diligent, and, it's a pinnacle that he's got, so there is something to contribute, but it may seem like someone in the relationship is not really equipped to handle it on the type of level that the other partner wants. So they might not be up for the same level of commitment or consistency, that type of thing. Hopes for the relationship. We have the Two of Wands. So, reverse roles if necessary. Obviously take things as they resonate. But with your partner showing up as in the Four of Swords, resting, healing energy, and then potentially in this Page energy, it's possible that someone isn't even quite sure what they want. So that could explain, kind of having to be strong from your position and wait things out with compassion and courage, because this other person might be on the fence. They might not be sure if they want to continue a life or a business partnership, or, even like a rental roommate arrangement, whatever this is about for you. They may not be sure which path they want to take, how they want to go. Okay. So your hope, my point, is that the person will be able to make a firm decision and actually start taking steps in that direction and stick with it. For fears, we've got the Three of Cups, Cancerian energy. There may be a fear of infidelity on the other person's part, some insecurities about them going out maybe a lot with their friends, going to the bar after work and not coming home when they should, or when they've agreed to. Could also be just a fear of growing apart in general because, being distracted by other people, and maybe having communications open on Facebook or Instagram or other social media that, could potentially drive a wedge between you. What to aim for? Well, the aim here is the Hierophant, major arcana for Taurus energy, and a love reading. This can often represent marriage or other contracts that, you know, seal the two of you together in a sense. So maybe your aim is commitment, or if you were in this page energy or whatnot, the other person might be aiming for that. It could also be simply, if this relationship doesn't work out, you know, I see the Hierophant as sort of a spiritual lesson card. So just, you know, realizing what the universe is trying to tell you and becoming wiser and leaning on your spirituality in order to deal with whatever the results may be. Okay, Libra, moving on to what to avoid. Ace of Wands. So, yeah, this is all kind of coming together for me, and there's going to be different stories, but the most prevalent thing standing out to me is that one of the people involved in this connection doesn't seem to be quite as committed or certain about it as the other one, and it's causing the other person to have some insecurities. One way that people deal with relationships, kind of a cowardly way, is if you have an agreement to be monogamous, you know, this will be different obviously for like polyamorous relationships or whatnot, so take it as it resonates, but in that case, sometimes one of the other people will dip out by simply going and finding another partner, another sex partner that they're cheating with and keeping silent about, or just breaking off the connection and saying they found someone new. You know, the Ace of Wands I see as a positive card because it's about a new spark of passion or creativity. But when it's in the avoid position in a relationship reading, I would just say for both of you to try to avoid being distracted by other things that seem shiny and new that can rip you away from the commitment that you've established, if there is one, or if that's what you're working on. All right, next we have environmental factors. We have the Page of Swords. Air energy, so Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. There may be people around you who are more interested and involved in your connection than you would consider ideal, Libra. So people may be kind of gossiping about things. They may be trying to get information. You know, say you go to church or an AA meeting, or you're talking to friends, and they might be asking you questions. And, you know, you don't want to seem like you're being too secretive and too mysterious. But at the same time, there are certain things that should stay within a relationship between two people. And so environmentally, though, for whatever reason, people want to know what's going on. For other people that may be involved in the relationship somehow or have an influence, we have the Six of Wands. That's Leo energy. Other people, okay, so they may feel like they're celebrating some type of victory or some type of win, and this may be something that's even public. So, you know, one scenario would be like, say you're this strength card, and which is how it's supposed to lay out, and where you're trying to establish what's going on and make it through the tough times, and the other partners may be kind of immature or not sure about commitment, and let's say they go over to their baby mama's house or baby daddy's house, because gender doesn't matter here, and you know that person who they had a child with then takes pictures of the family going out to the park or Chuck E. Cheese's or whatever and puts it online, and, you know, leading to further insecurities for you. That could be sort of a scenario that might occur. That's just one, but it's basically someone else feeling victorious and sharing that with others in such a way that they'll be recognized as victorious. All right. Act. So an action to take. Got the Two of Pentacles, Capricorn energy. Now, in the Before Tarot, it shows how we still got both of these thrown up in the air, and at this point, we don't know which way they're going to come down, which one's going to be heavier, you know, before he begins his juggling and trying to keep things balanced sort of precariously. But in this depiction for the Before Tarot, as I said, they're still up in the air and balanced. So perhaps it's time, Libra, for you to take a step back, figure out what the most important components are of this connection. what you want, what you believe your partner may want, what your priorities are, what you're committed to, what you have to do for yourself financially, spiritually, mentally, physically, and just kind of lay all that out on the line and, try to figure out what does weigh more for you. What is the most important? It's kind of like taking a step back to put your life in perspective and figure out what's valuable to you before you proceed. So now with unknown factors, 7 of Swords. So we see him in the traditional deck as taking some of the swords and kind of sneaking off with them. At this point, he's just kind of peeking at them like, oh, look what's right here. They're all off, washing off or stretching or exercising or doing whatever the hell they do between battles. I don't know. So look at these swords, I could really use some of those. Unknown factors may be that someone in a relationship or connection, and if it's you, it won't be unknown to you, obviously, but it would be unknown to the other person. Someone may be contemplating some type of treachery, deceit, cheating. Maybe it's that stepping out with that Ace of Wands. If your relationship does not sound anything like this and you know that your partner is faithful, then please don't run with it. And, I know a lot of people don't take tarot readings that seriously, but I'm just saying, even if you have some kind of suspicion, make sure that you don't jump to conclusions. So, this is for entertainment purposes only, obviously, and outcomes are not set, since free will is always at play, Libra. But, and I know you know that. So basically the unknown factor, though, is just to be aware that someone may be having doubts in this connection that is causing them to, find a way out, and not necessarily in an honorable way. For the final outcome, looking at about the next 3 months, we've got the 10 of Wands. So this is not, a very fairy tale ending, but relationships are what they are. And whoever's energy I'm picking up on for this reading, I would say that, according to this relationship, perhaps insecurity or doubts about the other person's fidelity or sincerity, on top of, some possible immaturity, commitment issues, someone else trying to perhaps steal your partner, trying to figure out what's important to you, knowing that, and I'm looking at this positive more clearly now, the 5 of Pentacles, like, if the positive of the relationship is that, well, hell, I have a feeling it might fail, but even if it does, I'll still survive. Like it's good to think that way to a degree, but that's not the highest you want to aim for. And so I'm not trying to preach here, but it looks like with the final outcome being the 10 of Wands, Sagittarius energy, by the way, you may reach a place, Libra, where it's just too much of a burden. We can tell in the regular Rider-Waite deck with the 10 of Wands that the guy's at the top of the mountain and he's bent over with the weight of the wands, about to drop them and set himself free. In this before tarot, it's like he's still dealing with the craftsman or whatever, whoever provides the wood. I don't know what the terms are, but they're still talking about it, and he hasn't quite picked them up yet to carry them. So I'm glad I used this deck, because that implies, there's still a choice for you, Libra, before you get to that point where you have all these sudden responsibilities and burdens, and all you can think about is laying them down, and you may feel sort of weary and just like ready to give up. And this one, he's still negotiating with the seller. He's still trying to figure out maybe how many wands he needs and how hard it's going to be to carry them all. So you're going to reach a point where you're able to look at the situation and realize perhaps that it's causing you too much of a burden on your soul, and it might be something that's just best released. Maybe not take the deal and pick up those wands and carry them all the way up the mountain. Maybe just leave them there with the seller. And on that not so encouraging note, I just read the cards as I see them, Libra. But if you did like the video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I will be seeing you guys a couple times a week. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you for your time and attention. Bye, Libra.